Big news out of Eastern Congo. The M23 rebels walked away from peace talks with the government. Yeah, they said they are not coming back unless the government sticks to the ceasefire deal. You know, it's bad when rebels sound like married couples. Like, I'm not coming home until you start respecting our boundaries.
The government of the Democratic Republic of Congo and the M23 movement have failed to reach a peace deal in Doha on Monday, missing the deadline they had set in earlier meetings. This raises fears that the two parties might reverse the progress made to end hostilities.
These peace talks in Africa always sounds the same. Everyone arrives in suits, handshakes, and bottled water. And then 2 hours later, someone is storming out like it's an old Woody reunion show. Honestly, our peace talks needs moderators from reality TV show. Imagine. The rebels want the government to respect a ceasefire deal, but let's be real, this is Africa. In Africa, a ceasefire is like a New Year's resolution. Everyone promises to stop. And by February, boom, back to chaos. Yeah, a ceasefire literally means let's take a break, reload, and then argue about who started it. The M23 says the government broke the agreement. The government says the M23 broke the agreement. Yeah, it's like watching two kids fight over who ate the last supper. And the UN is just standing there like a tired parent. Both of you, go to your rooms and no more bullets until you finish your homework. And the international mediators always show up with the same line. We urge the both sides to exercise restraint. Which is a diplomatic code for, we know you won't stop, but we said something, so leave us alone. Yeah, honestly, African peace talks are just sponsored by the word urged. Every headline, the UN urged the restraint. The African Union urged the dialogue. The church urged the forgiveness. Yeah, you would think the word urge is a military weapon. So the M23 rebels walked out of peace talks, which is crazy. Rebels walking away from peace talks? That's like a politician walking away from free paradigm lands. If even rebels can't sit through a peace meeting, how boring was that room? Probably a PowerPoint slide that starts with ceasefire 101. Please stop shooting. These talks keep repeating like it's a bad Netflix series that refuses to end. Season 1, ceasefire. Season 2, talks collapse. Season 3, another ceasefire. Season 4, walkout. And by season 7, we will be watching Peace Talk, the musical, with the rebels singing, don't stop, since they believe in if the government don't care, we don't care, we don't care. Congo, we gonna fuck, Congo, we don't care, we don't care. Congo! Well, that's a little too much for a rebel, but anyway, subscribe. But let's be serious, while they're playing musical chairs with negotiations, the ordinary people in Eastern Congo are caught in the middle. Families just want peace, food, and to live without running for their lives every few months. And instead they get leaders who treat ceasefire like Tinder matches. Sorry, it didn't work. Let's swap again. And at this point, the only people who win are the hotels hosting the talks. Every time the peace collapses, they go, oh good, they will be back in 2 weeks. They will book the conference room and order more biscuits. Because in Congo, peace is temporary, but hotel catering, that's forever. I'm Gilbert Drapari, this is the Let's Feed Africa. As always, thank you for watching and please do not forget to subscribe. Good evening, Africa. Welcome to the Let's Feed Africa, the only show where we roast news headline harder than South Africa roast electricity before load shedding. I'm Gilbert Drapari and let's feed. So South Africa launched a nationwide dialogue. Yeah, the whole country is sitting down to talk about poverty, unemployment, corruption, and inequality. Yeah, basically everything your family WhatsApp group argument. That's with the $40 million budget. $40 million for talking? If talking ended poverty, my broke uncle would have ended it a long time ago. That man has been giving free motivational speeches to his landlord for years. Hey man, he's still broke. And here is the catch. The politicians are leading this dialogue, and you know what that means? It's like asking mosquitoes to run a malaria prevention campaign. Here, step 1, donate more blood. But let's be fair, maybe this will work. Maybe South Africa will really sit down and solve its problem. Maybe ESCOM will release a new slogan. Lights out, but spirits up. Maybe. Yeah, I still love the optimism. A national dialogue sounds like a therapy. Yeah, except here, the therapist is the same guy who stole your wallet. Tell me how you feel about corruption. And don't check my Swiss bank account. Meanwhile, Airtel Africa's stock market just dropped 1.3% today. Yeah, while the rest of the market was going up. Imagine that. It's like being the only kid failing the exam when the teacher literally gave all the answers to the exams. Investors are so worried, but don't panic, Airtel users. Your calls will still drop before the stock does. Yeah, honestly, Airtel's network is so unpredictable. The stock charter probably uses their own signal. That's why it keeps cutting off. But here's the irony though. Airtel made billions last year. But on stock market, they keep dropping faster than a data bundle during WhatsApp video call. Maybe Airtel should join South Africa's national dialogue. At least then when the stock drops, they can say, relax, we're not losing money. We're just having a national conversation about it. Yeah, maybe that can work. I don't know. I'm not a stock expert. Seriously. And while Airtel drops, South Africa talks. African leaders are in Tokyo for TICAD 9 summit. That's right, Japan is holding African leaders to talk about development. That's right, because in African it says Africa progressing like holding a meeting in Japan. The agenda is simple. Japan promises investment, Africa promises to spend it, and the World Bank promises to write a really, really nice press release. Very simple, right? But here's what I find funny though. African leaders flew 13 hours just to hear promises. My guy, you could have had the same promises on a Zoom call. But of course, the paradigm doesn't, hit the same on a Zoom call, right? I'm still excited though. Japan has technology, efficiency, and discipline. And Africa has vibe. Maybe if we combine forces, we will finally have a train that arrives on time. Or maybe a power that lasts long enough to watch an episode of anime. Maybe. Just maybe. Imagine this partnership. Africa teaches Japan how to dance to amapiano. Japan teaches Africa how to build a bullet train. And World Bank teaches us how to borrow more money. It's cool, right? It's cool partnership, right? So tonight, Africa is talking in South Africa, dropping in Airtel, and networking in Japan. But the real question is though, which one will actually change our lives? So will the dialogue end corruption? Will Airtel give us stable calls? Will Japan give us bullet train? Or will it all just give us more content for the Let's Feed Africa? Stick around, I'm Gilbert Drapari. This is the Let's Feed Africa. We'll be right back with more crazy news headlines. And please don't forget to subscribe. As always, thank you for watching. So guys, today let's talk about something you probably know if you live in Uganda, lived in Uganda, or just read news about Uganda, right? Up until last year, UMEME was the main distributor of electricity in the country, except Wanareko in West Nile and some other funny companies there, right? So UMEME used to screw people up real bad. Blackouts here and there, and then people were screaming. Like a lot. So the government had people scream and government was turned on. Yeah, just like how government went to UMEME, like how I imagined Amini used to do it. UMEME, these are my people. I should be the one to screw them up, not you. Get out. Yeah, and just like a scary dog, UMEME was kicked out and UMEME ran. Right? And Uganda, the government replaced UMEME with Uganda Electricity Distribution Corporation Limited, UEDCL, if you want it in short. right? And here's the thing, I'm not going to lie. During UMEME's regime, we had blackouts, and it was a lot of them, right? But it was more like controlled blackout, which means when we had blackout, you could only take out off like small area, and then another area after 30 minutes, it will always come back. Basically, when your power was off, you can take your phone to your neighbor. The new neighbor will be having power. You can charge your phone from your neighbor. And after 30 minutes, sometimes your power just comes back. You can wait that off, right? Yeah, it was more like that. But when the government took over the grid, it's whole another level, right? When you get blackout, sometimes it takes off the whole city, the whole Kampala, sometimes the whole Mukono, sometimes the whole Wakiso, sometimes the whole country. Yeah, I guess that's why they say the government is for us all, right? Yeah, and that's not even the worst part. The worst part is now you can scream, I don't have power, I don't have power. Power is off. You can scream and no one is going to hear you. Yeah, because apparently the guy who is supposed to save you is the one who is on top of you screwing you up. Yeah, and now that being said, I just want you to do one thing for me. Subscribe to this channel, because in this channel we roast news headlines, African news headlines to be specific, right? And we know the news can be depressing sometimes, and what we do right here can't change how crappy people can be, politicians and everyone, but it sure as hell help us live through the depression. I'm Gilbert Drapari as always, and this is the Let's Feed Africa. Thank you for watching as always. Again, please don't forget to subscribe.